Hey guys, today I have another semaglutide and tirzepatide Q&A. I have been just flooded with questions. I lumped a few together that were similar. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Madison. I lost 30 pounds in 4 months on compound tirzepatide. I am now on a very low weaning / maintenance dose, and I am a big fan of GLP-1 medications. I think they are so helpful to so many. So let's jump on in. I love having no food noise on the meds. Do you think everyone naturally has food noise to a degree, or just people with issues? I wanted to start with this question because I think it is so interesting and so good. I think most people have a degree of food noise, and I don't think it's necessarily like bad for the human race. So I've thought I said that weird, but I've thought about this. So like during the ice ages when we were hunter-gatherers, like the people with a lot of food noise were probably the people that made it. They were probably the ones out there just like dedicating their time to finding food. People with no food noise were probably like first ones out, first ones down, because, you know, they just like didn't care that much about finding food to eat. So I think that like for humans, food noise, like in the past when food was one, healthier, it was probably grown in the ground, fresh, it was organic and everything, it wasn't as bad for you then. It wasn't as bad for you in the past to have food noise. And two, now it's just so readily available. It is so easy to get, and unhealthy food is so easy to get. If, you know, the food noise hits and you're starving, you might just go to Taco Bell like right around the corner. I know I did. So I think food noise, it's nothing new, and I don't think necessarily like historically it's been a bad thing. I just think that now in 2024, in, you know, the past 50 years when food has gotten so prevalent and so incredibly unhealthy and so processed, and, you know, work culture is intense. We often don't get real meal breaks. And just, I think it all has combined into food noise being really, really hard and really, really unhealthy. And there are definitely people that have it like a million times worse than others, and like there's definitely people with like not enough food noise. I have friends, I know people that like will say they forget to eat. So they, I mean, that's crazy, right? They forget to eat, but they'll like go all day and just like not even think about eating. So they maybe don't have enough food noise. So I think it's like probably a huge spectrum. I think way back in the past, it probably wasn't a bad thing. But now that food is so plentiful and so easily accessed, and particularly unhealthy food is so easily accessed, it's something that we have to be aware of and maybe need help with. That was quite a tangent for that question. But did I answer it? Yes, I think most people have food noise. I think where you fall on the spectrum, I think some people have a really, really hard time with it. If you have just a ton of food noise, borderline food addiction, then I think maybe that you are one that really maybe should be on a GLP-1 medication for the rest of your life, because that is miserable, absolutely miserable to deal with. But then there might be some people like more in the middle where they have a lot of food noise, but different strategies can help them, you know, off the medication, or, you know, or just on a really low maintenance dose. I don't think that it's like either yes or no. What are you doing for maintenance since you've met your goal? Right now, I'm on a half of the starting dose. My first 4 months on compound tirzepatide, I was on a therapeutic dose, which for me was just the starting dose, the 2.5 milligram. I stayed there for 4 months. I lost my 30 pounds. I got to my goal weight. And then I dropped to a half dose because I'm on a compound. I can do a half dose. If I was on name brand mounjaro or Zepbound, I don't know what I would do. I'd maybe space them out like every other week or something. But I wanted to do maintenance for a while / a really slow wean off. I do plan on getting off the medication. So I'm doing a half dose, about 1.5 or 1.25. And for me, I still feel some appetite suppression on it. I'm definitely a hyper responder. Most people don't respond this well to the low doses. I do have some food noise back. I am hungrier. For me, doing a really long wean off / maintenance dose was just helpful in getting my habits in a place where I feel like I can get off the medications and I'm good. So on maintenance, I'm doing intermittent fasting, just 14 to 16 hours intermittent fasting, usually around 6 p.m. to 10 a.m. I take a break from eating, let my body digest, and then I have an eating window. And in my eating window, I try to have a high protein diet. Every meal have a significant source of protein. That really helps with satiety. That helps me not think about food all day. That helps me not snack as much. So having that high protein diet is really helpful. Trying to drink enough water, trying to get fiber in. I also try to avoid sugar. I also try to give myself some grace. So if like once a week or so I don't do the intermittent fasting, or once a week or so I want to have something sweet, that's fine. I think giving yourself some grace is good. I also have incorporated strength training into my exercise routine. Once a week I do a Pilates video. Once a week I do a whole body weight routine at the gym. And then on the other days, if I can, I try to do a 30-minute walk, usually on an incline on the treadmill, sometimes outside if it's not too hot. So I'm using this time on my maintenance dose to just kind of solidify my lifestyle changes. Oh, this one was very interesting. Isn't restricting food bad / can lead to EDs? I picked some controversial ones this time because I just, it's good to talk about this stuff. So I think it totally can for some people. I think restricting food can totally be very unhealthy and toxic for some people, but I think for other people, myself in particular, restricting my food intake is really healthy for me and is really good for my body. I'm someone that's prone to overeating, that does think about food a lot, that without reeling myself in, would overeat and my body would get unhealthy and did get unhealthy. And so I think that for some people, restricting what you eat could be unhealthy. But I think for other people, restricting what you eat is healthy. And I think that it's taking care of yourself. I'd like to pause to thank today's sponsor, the Gym Bite. These have been so helpful to me on my weight loss journey. When you're on a GLP-1, it can be hard to get the nutrients you need in, and these are packed with real foods. Some of the real foods that are in these little bites are quinoa, fruit and dates, chickpeas, ginger and spices, algae, citrus, probiotics, prebiotics, turmeric, pumpkin seeds, black pepper. They are bite-sized. They are citrus ginger flavor, which is so good. There is 20 plus of vitamins and minerals in each of these. It's a holistic approach to health because these are real food ingredients. They're better absorbed in the body. I feel like they've really helped my energy levels, my skin and my nails. When on a GLP-1, bloating and tummy upset are really common, but the prebiotics and the probiotics in particular in the Gym Bites are so helpful. Right now, Gym is offering 50% off your first month. Go to dailygym.com/MadisonL. Be sure to use my code MadisonL at checkout. Are you worried about your PCOS symptoms coming back off the meds? Yes. Yes, I am. I've decided to try to get off them. I do have some side effects, days 2 or 3 after I have some nausea, maybe a little fatigue. But I also, my story is different than a lot of people on the meds. I didn't have chronic obesity. I got to a BMI of around 27 after my second baby. And I felt my body being really, it just felt so unhealthy and strange. And my PCOS symptoms were just flaring and miserable. And I decided to do a medical weight loss program. I qualified because of my comorbidities. At that 27 BMI, I did see a vast reduction in my PCOS symptoms, my bleeding regulating, less acne, just overall less PCOS symptoms. I also, during my time on the medicine, during my therapeutic time, worked with my OB. I got off the pill. I got an IUD, so that definitely helped with some of the bleeding regulation. But yes, I am. But I've also educated myself a lot about like the diet that's good to be on when you have PCOS and exercise with PCOS. Like for example, if you have PCOS, it's actually not really that great to do like intense cardio. It can stress out your body if you have PCOS. So people with PCOS might like not respond as well to running or Peloton, but might respond much better to like Pilates and gentle strength training and power walking. So I have changed some things that I also think will help, and we'll see how it goes. What lifestyle changes did you make when starting Tirzepatide? So, I mean, I already talked about this. I did totally change my diet. Before I started it, I was really just focusing on calorie deficits, and, you know, I switched to a high protein diet. And I will say, I'm so glad I did this. Tirzepatide was such a wonderful tool because I was so frustrated and I was having such terrible cravings all the time. I was addicted to like the bad stuff. During my pregnancies, I was so sick that I kind of let myself eat whatever, and that ended up being a lot of unhealthy food, or just a lot of carb heavy, cheese heavy, sweets. And if you give your body that, it'll start to crave it. And I kind of just, I tried to eat healthy when I could, but I was so sick when I was pregnant. And I was pregnant, breastfeeding, immediately pregnant again, breastfeeding again. And so during that childbearing phase, it was just so hard to eat a really good diet. I did my best, but I was not succeeding, and I became like addicted to the bad stuff. And so when I got on Tirzepatide, it was all so much easier and it was wonderful. And I would fill my body up with the good, the healthy stuff because I wasn't craving the bad stuff. And I think that therapeutic 4 months on the medicine really did break those cravings and those habits, because once I dropped to my maintenance dose and I was hungry again and stuff, I still wasn't craving the bad stuff. Like my body was used to the healthy stuff and I wanted the healthy stuff, and I still want the healthy stuff even though I'm on like a half of the starting dose. So yes, I did make a lot of lifestyle changes, but Tirzepatide was just such a wonderful tool for that. Also, like in the gym. So I had too much of a focus on cardio before. Well, once you get on the GLP-1s, you're recommended to start strength training so you don't lose muscle. Well, that was wonderful. And I'm so glad that this journey has got me into the habit of that. But also, once I was down 20 pounds, man, I wanted to work out more. Like my body felt more mine. Like I was able to move more. It was great. I get my semaglutide from a med spa. Is that not a safe place to get it from? I don't know. It depends on your med spa. So I would only go to a licensed compound pharmacy. If your med spa is getting it from a licensed compound pharmacy, I think you're probably good. If your med spa is mixing it themselves, I would not go there. I do not think that that is very safe. Licensed compound pharmacies are regulated by the state, and there is quality control, and the medicines are made by licensed pharmacists. If med spas are mixing this themselves, I would not do that. If you're looking for a telehealth to switch to, I use JoinFridays. I love them. They have some of the lowest compound prices that you will find. There's a monthly membership fee. That membership fee covers your provider appointments. They have nutrition coaches, fitness coaches, everything. And then because of the membership fee, they're able to give you an incredibly low medication cost for your compound medication, and it comes from licensed pharmacies. I just want to lose 15 to 20 pounds. Can I use these to do that? So this is another one of my hot takes. People will have different opinions on this, but I think yes. I think, I think it depends where you start from. So if your BMI is totally healthy, then no, I don't think that just losing 15 to 20 pounds and doing this journey and doing all that, I don't think necessarily. But if your BMI is unhealthy, if your BMI is clinically overweight, then I think it would be fine. I know my provider, JoinFridays, will start prescribing at a BMI of 27 as long as you have another condition, and there's a ton of conditions that qualify. So PCOS, a history of obesity, just a ton of conditions. And then anyone over a BMI of 30, as long as you are safe to be on it, can have it. But I kind of think that, yeah, I want to do this, but I'm so scared of the side effects. I mean, I feel ya. I had side effects, or I have side effects. I have some nausea and fatigue, sometimes GI upset, and I'm still so glad I did this. There are some people that have so bad of side effects that they end up getting off, but there's a lot of people like me who have side effects and we power through and we are so happy we did. And I will say, like, so I have nausea sometimes. I have nausea maybe days 2 through 4 after my shot, but it's nothing like when I was pregnant and I was like so sick all day long, so miserable all day long. Like it comes and goes and it's like car sick. But no, everyone's going to be different. Some people are going to be more intense than that. And then some people have like no side effects at all and they're totally good, or they have just incredibly mild side effects. Unfortunately, you don't know what you're going to be like until you try it. If you're someone who's really, really prone to nausea, then you're probably going to have a little nausea on this medicine. I have some nausea on this medicine, but I'm still so glad I did it, if that helps at all. Aren't these just for people with diabetes? So semaglutide in its form Wegovy and tirzepatide in its form Zepbound are both FDA approved for weight loss. Compound semaglutide and compound tirzepatide are allowed to be reproduced by compound pharmacies because there is a national shortage. So no, they're not just for people with diabetes. All right, that is it for this video. I think I will keep doing these Q&As periodically. I think they're really fun. It's nice to know what questions people have and even to give my hot takes sometimes. If you have any comments, if you'd like to talk about your journey, feel free to leave it in the comment section. I love to chat in the comment section. And please give this video a thumbs up. If you liked it, I would love if you subscribed if you have not already. And I will see you in my next video.